The I-Team now, we told you how automated school zone cameras have frustrated drivers and issued thousands of erroneous speeding citations.
But the cameras cause another headache for Georgians. Under state law, anyone who fails to pay these tickets cannot renew their vehicle registration.
Well, Fox 5 I-Team reporter Johnny Edwards spoke with drivers who say that's a big problem when you don't know you had any tickets to begin with.
Or if you can't afford to pay or you don't think you're guilty. Whatever the reason, a car with an expired tag isn't legal to drive. But we found that could be the case for tens of thousands of vehicle owners who may not even know it. Scott Maddox didn't know his girlfriend got ticketed for speeding in a school zone. Not until he went to renew the license plate on her 2016 Nissan Sentra, when the $80 citation popped up on the kiosk screen, blocking him from registering the car, which they co-owned. He can't ask her about the ticket because she died last year of heart disease at 57.
I mean, I don't know if Marcy received these things or not, but Marcy's not here, and now it's my car, and I have to do the responsible ownership things with my car, and the state won't let me do it because of a speeding ticket that belongs to a dead person.
He's in a predicament shared by tens of thousands of Georgia vehicle owners. According to the State Department of Revenue, currently more than 90,000 vehicles have registration holds because of unpaid citations issued by school zone speed cameras. The automated devices set up outside schools throughout the state that clock and photograph vehicles, slapping tickets on speeders with tickets sent out by regular U.S. mail. With some ticketed drivers complaining, the citations never reached them. Jeremy Brown said when he went to register his 2016 Ram pickup truck, he had to pay off 2 speeding tickets that went to an address where he hadn't lived for more than 2 years.
I've updated my tag and my license, and I'm clueless as to why they're sending these notices to an old address. On top of that, I have all my mail forwarded, and I haven't seen a single notice come through.
So what happens if you don't pay? The good news, these are civil citations, not criminal. So no points on your license, no effect on insurance, and no possibility of jail time. The bad news, you could lose your ability to legally drive your car.
Honestly, it seems like a gimmick. You know, we got you on camera. We got a snippet of you on camera, and now you have to pay us money or else we're going to cause problems in other areas, possibly even causing you to actually commit a crime, which is driving without a registration.
When the state legislature legalized automated school zone speed cameras in 2018, it included this stipulation to hold scofflaws accountable, saying that for any ticket not paid or contested, the Department of Revenue shall refuse to renew the registration of the motor vehicle unless and until the civil monetary penalty, plus any late fee, is paid.
It'll be up to the federal district judge.
Augusta attorney John Bell filed 2 class action lawsuits against 2 private camera companies, aiming to topple their business model.
And when you take away my title, and my ability to drive my car, and my right to sell it without due process, that's an infringement. Is taking property.
The penalty only applies to Georgia car owners. The Department of Revenue told the Fox 5 I-Team it has no authority to place holds on out-of-state vehicle registrations.
This is the camera right here that I believe got you.
So for Gloria Jackson, who lives in Riverdale and ekes by on Social Security disability payments, receiving some dozen or more citations in South Fulton meant turning in her Honda Civic to the dealer. So you're saying that you could not pay these tickets, so you had to give up your car?
Yes, exactly is what I'm saying.
Come here, Daddy.
And for Scott Maddox, it meant marathon phone calls to the State Motor Vehicles Division, the Gwinnett County Tax Commissioner, and camera company Red Speed, none of whom would provide him a copy of the ticket or any option to fight it. So why don't you just cough up the $80 and get this over with?
Because I don't think as a taxpayer that I should have to pay somebody else's speeding fine to legitimately register my vehicle.
One agency that Maddox didn't call was the city of Roswell, where Marcy got the ticket. We contacted the police department there, and after hearing about the situation, the department agreed to dismiss the violation, solving Maddox's vehicle registration problem. As for John Bell, one of his 2 class action lawsuits has already been dismissed by a federal judge. He said he plans to file a motion for reconsideration.
Yeah, I mean, there is a point by this attorney that there is no due process for litigating these tickets.
Right. Some people call this a due process nightmare.
Well, glad you figured it out for Mr. Maddox at least. Now, is there any way to figure out whether you've got an outstanding ticket before you go to register?
Yes, you can do that online. If you go to the Department of Revenue's e-services website and click on check vehicle registration status, you can enter your information. It'll tell you if there's any holds and how to contact the agency to place the hold. I'll put some links to that with this story on the Fox 5 website.
It'll be helpful to drivers out there in the meantime.
Right.
All right, Johnny, thanks so much.
Great stuff, Johnny. Thanks. Former President Trump